I've always had a passion for being around and learning about animals. When I was younger, going to zoos and animal parks was always a part of my life. I wanted to share my passion with family and friends, so I started working with people that loved animals as much as I did, and my YouTube channel was born.
Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with CJ at World Bird Sanctuary. Hello.
How's it going?
So who do we have here?
This is Liberty, and he is a bald eagle.
And as I hope most Americans can identify, but obviously it's an American icon, so how did it become what we know of a bald eagle today?
Well, the bald eagles, you're going to find them all over North America up into Canada and Alaska, but they became our freedom symbol, so to say, because of a vote way back when. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey as our national symbol, but it ended up coming down to a vote where the bald eagle won just by 2 votes. So it ended up almost being a very awkward Thanksgiving dinner.
So you said you find them all over North America. So what kind of regions or habitats can you find them in?
You're mainly going to find the bald eagles anywhere where there's water, lakes, streams, oceans, rivers, every now and then by creeks, because their main food that they're going to go after is going to be fish. They're very aquatic hunters. They're able to look down as they're flying over top of the water to see those fish that are right at the top. And they're also very opportunistic hunters, so if they see a red-tailed hawk with a rabbit that the hawk just caught, they will go after it and steal it, so kind of like a sky pirate. They will also go after anything that is dead. So roadkill or carrion, they will eat that because, well, it's already dead. They can go ahead and have an easy meal, and then maybe a raccoon or a possum can step in and take over after they're done having what they need. But for the most part, they're going to be eating fish.
So I'm going to assume that these large talons are helped in the fish catching process.
Yes, so Liberty, if he's going after a fish, will use these massive talons to grab onto them. He's going to use his fantastic eyesight to see those fish as he is flying over, and then he can use his very sharp curved beak to dig into those fish. If the fish is small enough or the animal small enough, they can eat it in one bite, but they usually need the help of their sharp beak, and they can use their feet to push down and then pull up with their beak to help make their food more of a manageable size.
So why is the bald eagle called the bald eagle?
Well,
this might be a bit of an obvious question, but...
Well, it's obvious that he has feathers on his head, so he's not bald, like most people assume. So bald is a Welsh word spelled B-A-L-D-E. Now, Americans have turned it into just taking off the E. So back then, bald used to mean white-headed. So over time, they considered the bald eagle a white-headed bird, and they just adapted that name from there.
Honestly, I didn't know that, so it's kind of a silly explanation for it, but it's white-headed, so I guess it works. So how does this white head help them in the wild?
Well, for the bald eagle, the white head more so lets the other bald eagles know whenever it's time to start a family. So they're not always going to have this white head and white tail. Whenever they're first born, they're going to be almost all brown, but different shades of brown, not a solid color. But whenever they turn 4 to 5, they will end up growing out this white head and tail to let the others know it's time to start a family. And whenever they do that, they're going to stay with each other for as long as possible, and they will build the largest stick nest of any bird known to man. So with that being said, their largest nest on record was about 20 feet wide, and it was 18 feet deep, and it weighed about 4,000 pounds before it took down the tree that it was standing in. So if you can imagine, coming back year after year, there might be something wrong with your house, you want to add something to it, so they'll always be adding to their nest year after year.
It's kind of incredible. A bird of this size, and most birds don't weigh a whole lot, so it makes something that big. It's just incredible. So how did you get this bird here at World Bird Sanctuary?
Liberty is about 24 years old, and he was born and raised in the wild, and everything was going great until he was chasing something across the road one day and got smacked by a car. And well, for birds, that's usually a fatal accident, but for Liberty, luckily, he didn't pass away from that accident, and he went to a facility in Florida where they fixed him up. He broke basically the equivalent of our collarbone, so he wasn't able to fly. They fixed him up in that facility, they sent him back out into the wild, and everything was going great until he flew into a parked car a couple weeks later. So he has a little bit of brain damage, so he's not the fastest thinker, and he's not the best hunter. So if we were to release him back out into the wild, he might might not survive on his own. So we use him as an educational bird here at the World Bird Sanctuary to educate the public and the world, for that matter, about bald eagles and how important they are.
And he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing
He's kind of
fantastic.
stay on the glove and everything.
He goes and does parades, he does events almost every single day. He's one of our more popular eagles.
So how long has he been an education animal?
He was brought to the sanctuary whenever he was about 5 years old, and he's 24, so he's been doing it for a very long time.
So it's just kind of like in the groove of things now.
Exactly, exactly.
So this might be a bit of a tough question, but what's your favorite thing about Liberty here?
I think my favorite thing about him is his personality. Well, I've done dozens of programs with him all over. I've traveled to Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, all over the place with this bird, and it seems like no matter what situation's going on, he's just focused on nothing really. I mean, he knows what's going on, but nothing really bothers him. So there could be 300 children screaming in a classroom, and he is not fazed by any of it. Whereas some of our other eagles, their personalities are a little bit more high-strung or a little bit more active, whereas Liberty is just very calm all the time.
And if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram @ColeShirk. As always, I'll see you next week.